The crew worldwide, from Cali to Twitter, real hardcore fans, boxing ass niggas, consistency cops, police the views, we'll pull up receipts for any debate you choose. Shout outs to Clan Archie for the dope production. Ring Gang stay with the best discussions. Ring Gang Radio.
What's good, y'all? Welcome to another episode of Real Talk, where, as always, if shit's real, we talk about it. I'm your host for tonight, Patscorpio, the New England representative. Yeah, and as always, I got my man with me. I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
What it do, man? It's your boy Shutterworth da Gawd, the dope artist, creator of the Soul Wars comic, LB Lauderdale boss, Ring Gang in the building.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So yeah, LB, we're gonna talk about a couple of movies, that are currently out right now. The first one that we are going to touch upon is the latest offering from the DCU animated universe, Reign of the Supermen. Now, before we get into all that, I have to say, with regards to the DC animated universe, it completely shits on the actual live action DCEU. Okay? Why it does, I don't know. I don't fucking know. But there's
I don't know about all that. Like, it's better than their live action shit, no doubt. But I think it's because they've been doing it longer and they've been able to just get it right, and they have a formula they know, and they just kill it with that. Like,
yeah, but their formula has been tight for since like the first one, which was, what was it? Superman Doomsday. There we go. I think that was the first one in there. Like, all them shits were super tight, and they started all before. I think with the exception of probably Man of Steel, I think they were all before all that. So when the live action was started, like, they had all these stories, not just because, but they actually had some animated they could actually build a live action from. None of them will come close to that. And the word in the
oh no, man. See, this is the thing. I feel like the live action is just hit or miss. But granted, I still haven't seen Aquaman yet, so I don't know if that's a hit or a miss. But me personally, Man of Steel is like in my top 5 comic book movies all time list. Like,
yeah, no, Man of Steel is still by far the best DC live action movie. I mean, that one was tough. I mean, most people for whatever reason didn't like it, but I thought, did it have good action? Yes. Did it have a good villain? Yes. Did a story build? Yes.
And it was epic. And the one thing I like about the DC universe, like their live action, you really feel like you're watching a comic book movie. Like, all the action is over the top, crazy, bigger than life. The powers are unleashed. That's what really killed it for Wonder Woman for me. I thought Wonder Woman was dope as fuck.
Yeah, I thought Wonder Woman was dope too.
Let me see. Batman vs Superman was okay. It was too long. The movie's only worth the ending, really.
No, that one was. I mean, I saw both the theatrical version and then the extended version. The extended version does make a couple of other things, sense, like the stuff that was probably put down originally on the cutting room floor. But it was.
I only saw the extended version.
No,
I never saw the cut up whatever shit that was in the theaters.
Oh shit! Then you're one of the lucky ones, nigga. That's why. Yeah.
But damn, that movie is like maybe a 7.
Nah, that's a lot lower than that, and it's only because of a couple of flaws in there, especially with a couple of the characters, especially the ones
that ending too raw for me to give it below a 5.
The ending was some old bullshit. The post-credit scene was nice, but
I'm talking about the 3-way battle, Superman, Wonder Woman, and what's the nigga? Fucking
Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman.
the creature they was fighting, you know who I'm talking about, man. I can't remember his name right now. He killed Superman.
Yeah, that was supposed to be Doomsday.
Yes.
And that's where I also that's where I absolutely that's where I got a little mad. So I was like, nah, this was wrong. This was very, very wrong. I was not feeling.
DC, you one of them overly critical. Hold on, they better make this perfectly done. How page 17 in the comic book of issue 18, volume 3.
No, I ain't one of them niggas. If I was, then I would have nitpicked the fuck out of the MCU movies. But I just thought that whole scene was just wrong, how it was executed. I mean,
so what do you think of the Justice League movie then?
I thought it was rushed. I mean, it was a cool viewing. I mean, I didn't hate it, but I just thought it was just rushed, and it's rushed for the simple fact that they only had they played out Batman, Superman, and the Wonder Woman movies, but I didn't think any of their stories really built up to the point where you actually wanted to see them and see all of them, you know, plus Cyborg and Flash and all of that.
It was rushed. I ain't gonna lie. Like I felt like, cause didn't the Wonder Woman movie came out right before it, right?
Yeah, and like, the Wonder Woman, and I remember I saw that. Cause I saw that in Montreal during when I went up to go see Superman 5 2, and that shit was sold out, and people were loving that movie, and I liked it too. Like it was dope. I mean, I had my doubts that Gal Gadot, whatever, could actually pull off Wonder Woman, but she's Wonder Woman. Fuck it. You know?
I thought the movie was dope, so it's like, then later on in the year, it's like they give you Justice League, and it's like, damn, it's like, nigga, let Wonder Woman breathe. And I almost feel like Aquaman should have had his solo movie come before Justice League.
Exactly. Yeah.
Or even if you didn't, at least Wonder Woman, let her have a whole year to herself. If you're gonna do it the way they did, you know, don't put both of them the same year, like.
Or at least have Aquaman, because Aquaman's only made an appearance in Batman vs Superman Justice, and it wasn't, he was not part. It was just basically a cameo. And
yeah, it was some random quick little shit, like some Stan Lee shit, like R.I.P.
Right, exactly. Yeah,
so I feel you. So it's like I said, you got some hit and miss, and so far, DC got Superman and Wonder Woman right. Justice League, okay. Justice League, I felt was a decent movie. I want to say it's like a 7.5, but Batman and Superman, you know what? I'll give you a 5 on that. I'd say, but you correct on that. I'll give that. It's average.
What do you think about Suicide Squad?
I thought Suicide Squad was decent as well. Like it was on the level of Justice League. Like I enjoyed it. Like probably about a 7.
See, what killed Suicide Squad was okay, but what killed it for me was a couple of things. A, as we take it back to the animated universe, one of my favorite animated DC movies is Batman Assault on Arkham. And
yeah,
because that was where the whole Suicide Squad on the anime side got unleashed, and that movie was dope as fuck, and it was violent. Oh. God damn, it was violent as fuck too. and I think that's what ruined Suicide Squad, because that movie was hard R.
Because I saw that when it first came out, and when I saw the trailers for the Suicide Squad movie, like the live action, I'm like, okay, if these niggas kind of go how the cartoon was, then you know we can have something. But I feel like they kind of hit and missed it, like, but they still made an enjoyable movie. But I can't say it was a great, like, one of the best. It's not on Man of Steel and Wonder Woman level.
Well, let's just put it this way: the actual villain of the movie was a no to me. The one that should have been the villain seemed like a lot of his best scenes were probably on the floor, you know. Because I think Jared Leto, because you know he was all up in the character, he heard all the stories and shit like that, But when it came to the movie, he didn't really deliver anything memorable. And he was getting that type of hype too, because he was the first Joker after Heath Ledger. And he and you know, you hear that, oh, that was the bad ending. And I actually got the Suicide Squad extended edition, and it didn't really add any more to what his character was. So I was just like, damn, they really dropped the ball. They should have really made this an R instead of like PG-13 and whatever the fuck they had.
Like, Suicide Squad deserved to be like, it's like one of those, it's like a Wolverine Conan type of film. Like,
right,
the raw, you don't do it justice by giving it PG-13.
Right, not at all, not at all. And of course, it didn't help either too. Then later on, you know, when Suicide Squad got, you know, with Hell to Pay, and you just realize how badly they dropped the ball with that movie. You know, because Hell to Pay was a motherfucker to watch. I was like, yeah, that shit was raw as fuck. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, you know, you got more leeway with the cartoons, so it's hard to really compare them like that, because if you look at it with Marvel, like, their cartoons for the most part are just either trash or and their movies, they got so many fucking live action movies. You know, they seem to have their formula on point, and it's not a hit or miss with them. It's like the opposite, really. Like, DC killing the cartoons, the live action hit or miss. Marvel killing the movies, the cartoons are hit or miss.
Yeah, that's actually funny how that actually works. How that's actually working right now.
And I mean, like, if you was to take both their if you was to take the both from best, if you was to take the best from both, goddamn.
Yeah.
If you can take the best from both, you'd have like a pretty dope list of movies. So it's like, and if you're a comic book head, you gonna fuck with both. But anyways, I know we kind of sidetracked.
No, I mean, it all leads to Reign of Superman, you know, which is
right.
The latest offering from the DC animated universe. So LB, what did you actually think of Reign of Superman?
I thought the movie was fucking dope. I don't think it was better than the first one in the trilogy that they're going with, the Death of Superman.
Right, no,
the Death of Superman is just raw as fuck, like from the comic to the way they interpreted it in the cartoon.
Yeah.
But this one was definitely worthy of, you know, being the sequel. I fucks with it, but I wouldn't say it's like the very best DC movie. Like, it's not in that upper tier like Superman, Apocalypse, or, you know, the one Superman movie was Superman, Batman, Supergirl.
Yeah.
And Darkseid.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
It's not on the level of that.
No. No, I mean, I thought, like I said, it was entertaining. Like, I thought the animation was on point. You know, it was good to see the Eradicator and Superboy and all them, and Steel and all that. But yeah, Superboy was the star of the movie, though. I was fucking with him in that, yo. Superboy was cool. Eradicator, though, you know, motherfucker. I was like, I was not expecting to actually see him in the movie, but I mean, dude came up there and was just like, you know, was taking no type of shit.
Yo, for real.
Yeah.
Like a nigga dad and shit.
Yeah. So I mean, now in terms of how it actually kept, you know, how the translation from the comic, I'm not, like I said before, I don't nitpick all that much or whatever. I just realized they probably had to fit in a lot of detail in a certain amount of time on there. And one thing that I think with Death of Superman didn't do all that much is it didn't give a whole lot of time to the other Superman. I mean, that's not really a nitpick. I just felt like there was more focus on one version of Superman than the others, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, well, I feel where you're going. I feel where you're going with this. I mean, they focus on Superboy because, you know, he was with Lex, I feel like the Cyborg had his little moment, but then he kind of played the background for a minute. Steel was like in and out, but then he had his moments.
Yeah,
I feel what you're saying, but I think they kind of did their best as far as giving everybody some shine.
yeah, and like, I mean, I was like, huh. And I think the fact that it was really, I mean, I don't think they resolved some of the stories of some of them. And that's where I'm just thinking to myself, like, the writing was a little weak at that particular point. And especially how the beginning was so raw, with you seeing all of them come to the screen or whatever. I was like, oh shit, then I wasted no goddamn time, let all of them start, wreaking havoc and shit. But I think that was just, like, I had to say that was a slight weakness. And that's where the writing was.
They're making the third one, right?
Was that?
They're making one after this, right?
I believe so. I don't know if it's. I mean, I know they have 3 upcoming, but I don't think it's anything related to the Superman one. They probably just haven't announced it yet, but I know there's 3 upcoming, but it's not any of those 3. If there's a sequel after Reign of Superman, that probably won't come until like a couple years. But I did.
Superman was like what, last year?
Yeah, it was. I mean, who knows what it is in their arcs, in their story arcs, where that's gonna go. But I mean, unless one of those movies is come back, I think one of them is a Batman movie, a Wonder Woman one, and Justice League one. So yeah, I mean, I don't see a sequel in any of those 3 for those 2 Superman movies, animated movies. But in terms of,
originally I heard they was breaking up like the story, like they had the death of Superman, the reign of Superman, and then I guess somehow Superman, the third movie's gonna show how Superman comes back, like to be in Superman. So I'm figuring like they're gonna answer some of the questions that they had left over.
Yeah,
that's the only reason I was going with that. But I mean, we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, hey, it may happen, but I mean, like I said, I mean, I don't. But in terms of what I remember on the timeline or whatever, I don't think it's gonna be anytime soon.
Right, okay.
Yeah, though, but in terms of that, like, I mean, I thought the voice cast was pretty good. With the exception of Lex Luthor. Lex Luthor did not sound like Lex Luthor in this movie. I'm sorry. I don't know who voiced him, but Lex Luthor sounded like a bitch. I'm sorry. I'm gonna say it straight up and down. I mean, whoever voiced dude needs to do a better job in the sequel.
He was bitching that damn Superboy the whole fucking movie. Good,
yeah. Word.
So, I mean, maybe he was supposed to come across like that. Yeah, oh man, y'all just gotta see it. I ain't gonna ruin it.
Yeah, I was like, that's why it's just, you guys say, well, trying to ruin some of the moments.
Yeah.
But like I said, though, it is a highly entertaining. It's hilarious. It's not as raw as the other DC movies. Like, it's not super raw, except for maybe
it's in the middle of the pack. It's not part of the worst, but it's not a part of the best. It's right there in the middle.
Right.
I don't think it's. I enjoy Death of Superman more. I just think it's a better story.
Right. And I mean, I thought the raw stuff would come from Eradicator, and for a minute I thought he was gonna. Well, I'm not gonna ruin the scene, but in the beginning I thought he was about to get on some real shit. But I was like, oh, no, that's not how it's supposed to play out.
Oh man.
No, but
so 1 through 10 though. 1 through 10. What you One 210 it did.
Like I said, it did have its issues and it didn't really reach the heights that I thought Death of Superman did. So, but it was extremely watchable. So I would give it a 6. I think a 6 is a good number.
Agreed.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, I like the humor. The action was on point. You know, like I said, it's just the fact that you saw the Superman and the fact that, you know, one of the most treasured comic book stories from the DC universe was actually put onto screen like the way it was. You know, I can't hate on it too much unless it completely stunk and it didn't do that. So,
because film wise, you know, the animation was cool, the action scenes were great. It had its little jokes. Story was moving, like, you know, it was cool. You fucked with it. The pacing, like, you felt like you was always getting some action, or action was around the corner.
Right.
So, you know, I like that. So yeah, but with that said, you know, you could do everything good. It just, you still got to break out and kill something.
Right. And that's what it didn't do. Like, it told the story well, but it didn't make for any real epic.
Yeah. And sometimes it seemed like it was getting to an epic moment, but it just seemed
it would fall flat.
Yeah, like Death of Superman, like the whole movie was just leading up to, like, you know, Death of Superman.
Right.
But it's like the whole journey was so fucking gangster that you're like, God damn, like, these niggas, it's gonna get worse than this. And it's like the whole movie, it just kept getting worse. You're like, oh shit. Like, yo, get this nigga, like, he's fucking everything up, like. And it got more epic and epic until it just, you know, the movie was finished and you're like, shit, like, you felt like you was there fighting them niggas too, like.
Word.
Like, this one didn't have that, like, just like with the one I mentioned earlier with Superman Apocalypse. You know, the final battle and that shit where they're in the cornfield.
Yeah, that shit was that shit was epic.
Smallville. That shit was epic as fuck. Like, come on. It's like just too many great moments. Like that movie's a 10 for 10. Like, you know, Death of Superman, 10 for 10. Like, so this one, you know, although a good movie, if you're a DC fan, you know, you like the cartoons and shit, you'll fuck with it. You'll like it. It's watchable. You entertain. But, you know, no, it's, you know, it ain't gonna be one of them classics though.
No, sir. No, sir.
And that's okay, because you can be entertained without having a classic.
That is also true. As long as it tells the story the way it's supposed to, then, you know, then it does its job. You know, but like I said, you know, if you keep a high standards for DC animated universe movies and stuff like that, then yes, you know, then, you know, that's on you.
It's not up there with the first Suicide Squad, the Batman Assault on Arkham. It's not up there with that.
No. I mean, if I had to compare this one, I'd say it is, I don't know, I would, maybe it's a Justice League Dark, you know, maybe compared to that one. Or, yeah, Justice League Dark, I mean, it was one of those movies that it could have went harder with the right story, but it didn't. I mean, with the right type of better writing, but it didn't. So, I mean, but they're perfectly entertaining movies.
There you go.
So, yeah, so, I mean, bottom line is, yes, go watch it. It's entertaining. It's a good hour and a half, I believe. I believe it's an hour and a half. I didn't think it was that long. So, yeah.
20 minutes or so, 27 minutes.
Yeah, and I mean, of course, you know, it's out on digital download legally, or if you want to, you know, buy the Blu-ray or DVD if you're old school, you know, because they don't make them shits in VHS no more. So yeah, I mean, you know, or if you have any other means, so be it. But yeah, like I said, full recommendation for you to go see. Real talk.